Let's talk about the continued follow-up to the Paris massacre involving the Charlie Hebdo satirical magazine offices, as well as a kosher supermarket or kosher market outside of Paris. We have heard all sorts of hypotheses and conspiracy theories regarding what took place there in Paris, but the anti-Semitic conspiracy theories are continuing to escalate and actually reaching even a scale that I would not have predicted. And last time we talked about this and we said anti-Semitic conspiracy theories have exploded in France after the Charlie Hebdo and kosher market massacre. I received emails, just straight up anti-Semitic emails saying that of course a Jew like me would be out there rejecting these hypotheses, but that they all make perfect sense. Here's another one. This was Dana Kennedy from the Daily Beast, interviewed on MSNBC, and she spoke to French Algerian Muslims in the outskirts of Paris who believe that it was not only a Jewish conspiracy, the Charlie Hebdo attacks, but that it was specifically shape-shifting magical Jews. I'll let her explain it to you.
Well, I went out to what they call the suburbs of France, which are not what Americans think of as suburbs. They're really the housing projects. They're outside Paris, and there are a couple areas inside Paris where a lot of poor Muslims live. And I talked to a cross-section of mainly French Algerian young men who said it was pretty much, they felt, the attacks were actually a conspiracy by the Jews to make Muslims look bad. And they told me that one person told me that, in fact, they weren't just regular Jews that were doing this. In fact, they were a race of magical Jews, shape-shifting Jews that were master manipulators and could be everywhere at the same time. Jose...
When in doubt, blame the Jews is a pretty common refrain, Lewis, but when in doubt, blame the magical shape-shifting Jews pushes it a little further.
This is the type of thing that you read about sometimes and you think, well, this is some really old paranoia, some really old anti-Semitic stuff. No, this stuff is still happening all over the world.
And it is, you're right in one sense, which is that this is not a new thing. The belief in Jewish supernatural abilities to carry out their wicked plans is not that uncommon in the Middle East. Back in 2003, during a speech to religious students, you might remember that Mehdi Taeb, who actually headed up a think tank and was considered close to Supreme Leader Khamenei, said that Jews are powerful sorcerers who have used their abilities to attack Iran. And he also noted that the Jews have not yet even unleashed their full powers. So at some point, Lewis, presumably, the Jews will truly unleash their full powers. I wish that I knew anyone who could talk to me about where these powers come from and why I, as a Jewish individual, have no access or even knowledge of such powers.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't let everyone in on that ultimate plan where all the Jews will assemble like some type of transformer or robot and take over the world.
I'd be curious, Lewis's dad is Iranian and is married to a Jewish woman. You would think that your parents would be the couple with insight into all of this stuff.
Well, I'm not sure how much of this stuff my dad was exposed to when he was young and in Iran. I think probably not much. I think it was probably off the radar.